inviting me for the fifth colloquium for BIMTech. I'm really honored to be here. And thank you, Sare sir, for giving us a lesson in the go about the benefits and how they all started. And Dr. Singh, what a beautiful spectrum coverage on how the benefits work. I think you have just made all of our life very easy, because now I'll touch upon very few things. For the benefit of students, I will not try to repeat anything what Mr. Singh has said. We do a lot of those things, and a lot of those things were aspirational for us, which we couldn't do, which I'm sure Bajaj has done, and I think you've done a brilliant job in that sense. So when I look at benefits, we basically categorize benefits into 4 or 5 broad categories. We say one is insurance, which could be medical cover or could be a group term cover and any of those sorts, any health insurance. Then we say there is a benefit which we call a lifestyle benefits. So, lifestyle benefits could range from sabbatical policy to leaves, to assistance programs, to medical facility, to gym, on-site gyms, meal facility, and plenty of them, club memberships and, membership in, housing loans and all of that. And then you have those severance benefit, as Dr. Satis also touched about, retirals benefit, what you get after you are going away from the company. So we said, when you look at these benefits, each and every company dial up or dial down these benefits as they feel, right? For example, in terms of medical coverage, do you include parents when you give your coverage to the employees? Or do you only cover the wife and the kids, or the husband and the kids? And if you're covering parents, are you asking employees to pay for that coverage? Or you are paying from your pocket? So all of these things is what we looked at as a benefit, and we said, people during COVID time looked at benefits as a bedrock of an organization and said, which organization is providing me benefits, which is for me? So as Mr. Singh said, care for employee became really important more than anything else. So without touching the same things which already been said about, I'll talk about the things which addresses the LinkedIn survey predominantly. So one thing that firstly we learned during this time was that we need to be agile in terms of benefits that we provide. Traditionally, benefits is looked at once in a year, and then it is hard coded in the organization, and then you run with that. You don't change it as you go. But we learned that you have to change those benefits as you go, otherwise you would not be meeting the needs of the employees. For example, we opened up our medical cover where we allowed people to include their parents even during the year, which we were not doing earlier. Before the COVID, it would be just 1 month window where you include, otherwise it's gone, right? During COVID, we opened it up and we let people include their parents. And, that I think became a big hit, because a lot of people didn't want to do that initially, but during COVID, everyone realized that it's such a great benefit to have. And not going for that inclusion is probably a false move from the employee standpoint. The other thing I want to touch about is how do you include the family in the benefits, especially when you're talking about the mental well-being of the employee. You can talk to the employee, but if there is stress at home, how do you address that? So we put a lot of focus on having programs for the family members as well, where we invited the family members to attend the programs and learn something new. And give you an example, we had a workshop which became quite a hit, because probably our demographics or age group of people was about how do you take care of your kids under the age of 5 during pandemic, when parents are working, or one parent is working, one is not working. How do you, and at home, kids under 5 not going to park, not being able to go out of house, how do you manage them without letting them sit in front of television all for the whole time being? So that became a hit, and we had a lot of people and their spouses coming in for the session, and especially writing to me saying what a great program. And we never thought there would be a program associated with it, and where people will come and teach us how to manage kids, because you learn from your grandparents, right? Or your parents, how do you manage kids? So that was our one big initiative, where we said we want to do programs where we include the family members, whether it's about how do you do yogas at home, how to keep yourself fit within the boundaries of your home. So what exercises can you do without any equipment? So all of these sort of programs we curated for our employees and for the family members. that we also included to address the stress at home. And this was an idea that came from one of the employee. This is right after the second wave of COVID, where we saw people were really tensed, and second wave actually touched everyone. In terms of, there was a friend, there was a family member who got really badly hit by COVID, and there were a lot of demises in neighborhood and family and friend circle. So we saw a lot of lack of morale in employees in terms of living as the COVID wave 2 was ending. So we curated a program which we called a happiness campaign. And this campaign was more than just to say stay happy, because that's easier to said than done, especially in the environment that we were in. If you remember April, May, June, the stress, that was every phone call was a stress call. You don't know who's on the other side and what kind of help he or she may require, right? So we said, let's look at happiness from a very scientific point of view and say, what do you need to stay happy? So we broken down the problem of happiness into various parts about how do you sleep well? How do you keep yourself motivated by doing one thing that you really love doing every day? Even if that could be just to cook a meal, go for a walk in the morning, watch a television show for half an hour, and re-emphasize the point that you need to do that every day, because that's one thing that makes you tick every day. So sleep pattern, keeping yourself happy, spending time with family, closing laptop at a certain time every day, if you can, at least 3 to 4, 3 days out of 5, if not more, right? Our CEO wrote a mail to all our employees saying between 1 to 2:30, you will not set up any meeting, because that's a time where people will cook and eat. So there is more time required now in during COVID, when you can't have help coming in and cooking for you, and no meetings after 6:30, no group meetings after 6:30, and we will not start first meeting of the day before 9:30 in the morning. So all of those things came down from the top to make sure that employees can differentiate between work and home.
That's
So
great
another
initiative.
point.
That you address the one of the item when to in the office. 6:30.
Yeah. So these are the kind of things that we were doing, and we were learning on the go. So I mean, the learning was always, we were listening to our employees what they wanted. And one important thing that Mr. Singh also touched about is telemedicine facility, and including that benefit in the middle of the year. Obviously, cost impact is there, right? If you do it for pan India locations, and you have an employee base. So what we did was we partnered with the company, and they provided us support in terms of telemedicine, and we included all the family members. We said all your family members can have up to 15 sessions per month with any doctor that you like in any area that you like. It doesn't only restrict you in particular kind of illness, to an extent to even take help if you have if you're dealing with grief, if you're dealing with any mental stress, any mental problem that occurs, and you are not yourself. So we said you can have up to 15 sessions for all your family members every month, and it will be reoccurring benefit that will be given to you. So we were thinking of what we can do out of the box for people to really realize that we really care for our employees. That was our main agenda. We wanted to really take care of our employees, and we wanted them to know that we really care. I think that was one of the biggest thing for us. In terms of future, I think the way I am looking at it is highly unpredictable what is going to happen. And I'll give you one example of it. We thought it was a great idea to give people more leaves and more paid time off. And to our surprise, between last year and this year, during the COVID waves, people have taken much lesser leaves than they would usually do, because they're thinking it as a stigma. If I take more leaves, people will think I'm not as involved with the company. So while we think it's a good benefit, where we're telling people to go take more leaves and enjoy time with the family, employees are taking lesser leaves. So when you look at any benefit, take the feedback loop also. Just we thinking that is a great benefit, employee may not take that as a great benefit. In fact, they wanted more learning hours. They said, if you're giving me a leave, I will go and do a course, so that I engage myself. I'll probably learn some new skills. So now we are very cognizant of any benefit. When we look at any benefit, we say, oh, this company is doing this great benefit. Let's try to ape into it or copy it. We say, let's hold on. Let's look at it pragmatically. Will it help in future? Is it something employee wants? or is it only as HR community or HR team we think is a great benefit to have? So we are very open right now in terms of what future will throw at us, and we are not restricting ourselves to say these are the 5 things that we want to do next year, so let's budget for it. We're keeping it very open. The finance is not happy with me keeping these kind of things open in terms of what money would you want next year. But my idea is that you need to be agile. I think the biggest